Hello, I am Carolyn Cormier, and I'm your instructor for EDU700 and also your field placement faculty member. So welcome to the course and welcome to the journey of starting your clinical courses. I'm excited for you. It's going to be fun. This is me over here. It's kind of nice sometimes to put a face and a voice to an online class where you don't get a lot of interaction. So I will be meeting you as you go through your clinical experiences on your way to certification. My contact information is here, my email is right there, and then I have also this cell phone number that you can reach me at from 8 in the morning till 8 at night on a phone call or text any time at all is fine. I typically ask that you give me 24 hours to respond to your questions, but in most cases my responses will be much faster than that, at least to tell you I got your question and I'm working on it for you. So please don't hesitate to contact me by any of these methods if you need me for anything at all. So I thought it would be helpful if we kind of walked through the module of 700 and I showed you where things are in our course shell so that you can get an idea of how the course is going to work. So when you log into Moodle, you'll see our little Wordle there and a description of the course, and directly underneath that you'll see our syllabus and then 2 general forums for you. Please do read through the syllabus when you get a chance. You can save it or print it if you'd like. It has all of the due dates and the requirements that you'll need to gather in this orientation course. The forums here are for you and I to communicate through. There's an announcements forum where I will post reminders and sort of general course announcements, so you'll want to check that frequently, probably each time you log in, looking for new updates and information that you might need. And then this is a general questions forum, a place for you to post questions in a public setting. So please keep it for questions that you think your classmates might benefit from seeing the answer to as well. If you have more personal nature questions or things that are specific to your site, your circumstances, you can send those to me via email or we can chat over the phone. So once you come down here into the Moodle shell, you'll see each of the weeks. You can use these toggle triangles to either close or open all of the weeks. I like to keep them closed just because sometimes it's overwhelming to see everything all at once, but obviously this is your preference. So you can see each week and the requirements. The weeks are actually grouped, most of them, so that you have, so week 1 will be for these dates, week 2, and then weeks 3 through 5. These dates need updating, but basically this shows you how long you have to complete the requirements in each section. So I'll work on updating the actual dates for you, but you'll have 1 week for the items under this module, a week for the items under this module, 2 weeks under here, and so on. So you can see the requirements. Once you open up the module, you'll be able to see all of the requirements. So for week 1, you're going to start by reading over the syllabus, looking at the due dates, and one of the big things is to bookmark this site right here. It's a teacher education resource site that GSC has for students and for faculty. It has pretty much every resource you're going to need as you go through the education program, kind of all in one spot for you. So it's like a toolkit of all of the forms you're going to need. It has instructional manuals and all sorts of kind of items that you're going to need. So you're going to want to bookmark that on your web browser so that you can access it really easily. The next thing you're going to want to do is prepare a folder on your computer, on your desktop or in your documents folder, where you can store all of your artifacts that you'll have to submit through this course. You're going to want to keep those in a central location on your computer as a backup, basically. So any file that you submit on TaskStream for this course, also keep a backup in that folder. It'll keep everything all together in a nice spot, keep you organized, and keeping backup is a good professional practice. Whenever you store a file there on your computer or whenever you upload it to TaskStream, please follow this naming convention. Put your last name, underscore, first name, underscore, and then the title of your document. There's some examples here for you. Finally, you're going to start reading through the document on the Charlotte Danielson framework. This is really the foundation for all of our clinical experiences with Granite State. It's what our observation rubrics are based on when we observe you in the field, and it's the crux of pretty much everything we do in the classroom in our field work. So I would suggest that you purchase the text, although it's not required, but if you are interested, you can purchase it fairly reasonably. It's the Charlotte Danielson framework. For now, read through the document that you can find on the educational resource page that I told you about and respond to the discussion forum question about the Danielson work and respond to 2 other colleagues. If there are less than 2 other students in the course with you, then of course just respond to however many students are in our class together. Finally, for this week, you're going to want to register for the Praxis Core exam on the ets.org website if you have not passed that test already. So if you are a certified teacher or if you already have passed the Praxis Core, then of course you don't need to do that again. You'll just have to submit proof of doing that. So the proof can either be passing Praxis scores or your current teaching certification. If you do need to register for the Praxis Core because you have not yet passed it, you need to submit proof that you have done so and are registered to take the assessment into TaskStream. So where you're going to be putting all of these artifacts is right here in this puzzle piece where it says TaskStream Assignments. You're going to want to click on this link, follow the instructions so that you can upload all of your artifacts. So each week you will come back to this green puzzle piece for TaskStream Assignments and submit all of your work right here. And then that will take you to the end of week 1. In week 2, you're going to do the same thing. The first thing you're going to do is submit proof of a criminal history records check. If you have never had a criminal history background check, you can find the documents for that on the teacher resource page that I talked to you about. You can then fill it out, go down to a local police department, complete your criminal background check, and then submit the proof of that right up here in this puzzle piece under TaskStream Assignments. If you are already working in a school and you have already completed a criminal background check, submitting a pay stub from your school district will serve as proof of having that criminal background check done. We don't need any information like pay or any of that sort of personal identification. You can cross that out. Financial information. We would just need your name and the school district SAU showing that it's a pay stub and that you are an employee there and have naturally already completed a criminal history check. Again, this is another reminder that if you haven't done so, you're going to need to register for the Praxis Core if you have not already passed the assessment, and you'll need to upload your proof of that into the puzzle piece back in week 1 right here. And take a peek and to look at week 3. In weeks 3 through 5, you're going to spend time finding a supervising practitioner. Sometimes in the School of Education we call that your SP, supervising practitioner. You're going to need to submit supervising practitioner authorization paperwork and a copy of your SP's teaching certificate. So you're going to seek out somebody in the school that you're going to be gathering your clinical hours, someone that can supervise you and sort of act as your mentor during your clinical experiences. So it should be somebody in the school where you're going to be serving your hours if you can find somebody right in your building or in your district. Your supervising practitioner that you choose must hold currently the certification that you are seeking. So if you're seeking a general special education certificate, your supervising practitioner has to currently hold a general special education certificate. So let's say you're looking to get certified in early childhood education and in early childhood special education. Your supervising practitioner will need to have both of those certificates. If you can't find someone that holds both that you're seeking, you will have to have 2 supervising practitioners. So just keep in mind that your supervising practitioner, their certification needs to match what you are seeking. Also, they need to be an experienced educator. Their current teaching license needs to say experienced educator, meaning they have a minimum of 5 years teaching experience. You're going to be also, during this week span, interviewing your supervising practitioner. You want to start building a relationship with them because you're going to be working with them throughout your clinical experiences. Clicking on this link will show you the supervising practitioner activity that you will complete and upload both your supervising practitioner authorization form and teaching certificate, as well as the interview activity up here in the puzzle piece in week 1. So you'll have 2 weeks to complete all of those assignments. And of course, you could get started on them earlier than week 3. In week 4, you're going to begin gathering 6 through 8, module 4. You're going to be gathering all of the documents that you need to formally apply to the School of Education and submitting them all to the task stream document. You're going to be writing an essay on this topic describing how your personal background will make you an effective educator. You're going to be uploading a current resume, 3 letters of recommendation. You need to make sure those letters have an actual wet signature. So that means no stamps or typed names, but an actual pen in hand signature. Also, during this time frame, you're going to need to upload a copy of your current teaching certification, if you have one, or your passing praxis scores. This is just a reminder that your official transcripts of any previous college work should already be at the GSC admissions office. This is the address if you need it. The format for each of these items in your application need to be in PDF format. So picture format, JPEG is not acceptable, neither are Word documents. You'll have to convert them to PDFs before you submit everything up here in week 1 in the task stream assignments puzzle piece. Next, you're going to be in weeks 9 through 11 working on your personal plan of study. I'm planning on making a different screencast when we get here to talk to you about the requirements of your personal plan of study, but you can certainly read through and think about it for now, but you'll be working on that in weeks 9 through 11. The next week, you're going to be thinking about your final steps of the course, and you're going to be working on purchasing your educator toolkit, which is the technology toolkit that you'll need to go through your clinical courses, and you can find out information about that on the teacher education resource page that you have bookmarked. This is also just a reminder that you should have a subscription to TaskStream, but remember you need it to upload all of these artifacts in the prior 12 weeks of the course, so you'll have to have it long before week 12. The remaining modules on here need to be updated, so I will take care of the remainder of those. Once you hit week 12, final steps in module 6, we will be at the end of the course, and I'm working on getting rid of these in our Moodle shell so that they're less confusing. So once you've hit that, then you're good. I hope this has helped you kind of just get a feel of what's coming and how this course really is clerical and kind of organizational type things that we're going to need to do, and that we do have time to get them done, but we want to be on top of it each week. And so we have set due dates for each of the pieces so that things don't pile up and are all required at the end of the course. So in the first week, like I said, we're going to be flexible with due dates because we're all just kind of getting started. But after that, we will be adhering to the assignments. So as you get things, get them uploaded into TaskStream so that you aren't penalized for any late work or any late submissions. I hope this has helped you, and like I said, if you have any questions at all, reach out to me via email or shoot me a text and we will catch up. All right, thank you so much.